Okay, so let's do problem 1. First thing to do is to identify the states. And we have 3 states here. Family using brand A, brand B, or brand C. So our transition matrix is going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. And we're going to label it A, B, and C, and A, B, and C. And this is filled with probabilities that families will move from A, B, or C to A, B, or C. So here, if they use brand A, there's a 70% probability that they'll use it next week. So that would mean from A to A is a 0.7. And there's a 2% probability, 20% probability they use B, and a 0.1 that they use C. And if you notice, all 3 of these add to 1, which has to be true, because something has to happen. Then we go to the second line here. So for B, there's a 0.4 that they'll switch to A, and a 0.2 that they'll stay with B, which leaves what should be a 0.3. I made a mistake. So 0.3, so it should be a 0.3 that they switch to brand C, which it is. And then from C to A is 0.2. From C to B is 0.3. And from C to C is 0.5. And so there's our transition matrix. So magically, I got it into a matrix, and there's matrix A up here. Okay, now the first question is, what's the probability they'll be using brand 3 weeks later? So let's look at what happens when we take second matrix A to the third. And let's interpret those numbers. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, so it's asking, what's the probability if they're using brand B that they'll use brand A 3 weeks later? So this matrix is a 3 weeks later matrix because of that 3. And this is still from A, B, and C to A, B, and C. So the answer I'm looking for is from brand B to brand A. So from brand B to brand A is here. So the answer here is 0.482. Okay, and if I want to know what about 4 weeks later, I can come back to my second matrix A to the 4th, and this gives me the matrix 4 weeks later. Third time always works. And so I can look at that for the third, from B, that's asking me from B to C, so that's from B to C, so that's this number. So the answer to that one is 0.2564. In general, if I want to know what's going to happen over a long period of time, I can do second matrix A to the 100th. Sometimes you can go too big and it won't work. But there, and you can kind of see how this settles out, that 50% of the people will be using A, 25% will be using B, and 25% will be using C. And that's that.